peaceful people struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
Oh yes! A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election, believe it or not. Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Podmore. Unity is the key. We are all one, and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey. Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I
Good morning to everybody and welcome down to Livewire. Thank you all for tuning into the program this morning. It's night where I am here. Just got in from some classes, but the show must go on, as they say. Morning to all the persons tuned into the live already. Thank you guys for being here. I see promising no sound. Okay, great. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I saw the vice president's press conference yesterday late because I had to get it downloaded and stuff. Look, people, you don't know how good you're there until you're there somewhere else. A lot of the freedoms that you have in Guyana in terms of internet and the availability to browse as you like, and basically in some sense use the internet freely. When you go someplace else and there are tons and tons of restrictions, you tend to appreciate home more, right? I'm saying that because I wanted to get a certain video for you guys. So we could look at some issues today since we have the software back up and running, and I could present to you guys again. But before we get into that, morning to all the persons tuned in on the live already. I see we have Balwan Danraj, Derek Drupal, Vishal Prasad. No calls today, people. My local number is out. I have a Chinese number. And if you call me, I can pay for the roaming. So, no, it's you going to pay. Don't fight up. No calls today. So, don't try. Violet Prasad, morning to you. Eunice Raghubir, good morning to you. Raj Singh. Deshaun Abrams, good morning to you. Zoe, Miss Rita, Mr. Little, and the little Abrams, there in the home. Henry Jagdio, good morning to you. Raji Maraj. Oh, shucks, Deshaun sent me something the other day, Let me see if I get that. That would be an excellent substitute. Excellent. Lord, it is white chat there. Deshaun, send me a oh, got it. Don't worry. I got it here. Right. Raji Maraj, Rudolph Sarju, good morning to you. Rafi Singh, Estelle Ramnath, morning to you. Rakesh, Betty, Jean Cornelius, Jamila Kayum, good morning. Pam, morning to you, and Trevor. Philip Diabru, Balram Bhagwan Singh, good morning to you. Rajendra Mahes, good morning to you. Data Nandalal, Ashmi Basdio, Faisal Ghani, Salomi Suku, Dionan Suku, Joseph Satar, Shirley Singh, Chitra, hear me about Chitra, Krista Kurpasad. Why are you thinking about who's Chitra? Balram Ramrup, morning to you. Michael, morning. Shobin Siram, Roy Jafar Ali, morning to you. Morning to you, brother. Look, I've been seeing these lunches that coming out of Grill Masters. And I know that you guys have been experiencing it there in Region 6. So if you're traveling to Borbis, or if you're in the region and you need to have something good to eat at lunchtime, make sure you check out Roy. I don't have these things loaded up. I took them off the system before I left. So I don't have the flyers and the photos, right? So I can't put them up here, but based on what I've been seeing, scrumptious, looks really amazing, right? So make sure you guys support Grill Masters. I'll give you the number tomorrow when I sort that out, right? Who else we got here? Komal Komal Khan, morning to you. Lash PA, Christine Balram. Who else we have? Mazo Inshan, Gil Eon, Diane, morning to you. Karen De Silva Ali, Henry, Dale Henry. Raj, morning to you, Chief. How things? Which region you in? Who you educating this week? And Hector, morning to you. Cleaner Ryan, morning to you. Stanley Hamilton. Irene Ramcharan, morning to you. Pushram Kishore, good morning to you. Lily Prashad, Quincy Gibson, morning to you, brother. What's going on there in the to Mary Sue's like area there? I hope people in squatting. Special good morning to Miss Zoe Abrams on this live. What? I feel special. How the baby doing, Zoe? Leroy Mangal, morning to you. Leroy Mangal, morning to you. Harris Delney, morning to you. Good morning, Cordell. And okay. A critic going on last. Gustav Joseph joining us from Trinidad and Tobago. Shafira Ali, good morning to you. Sarah Mosley, morning to you. Ronald Martindale, morning, 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 everybody. So let's jump into it right away. I'll come back to being here in China and the experience a little later. I have other important things I wanted to deal with. I cannot express to y'all how vindicated I feel when I hear the General Secretary and the Vice President talk about things that I sit here and talk about with y'all. Right? I feel so vindicated. Marcy Nicole Smith, morning to you. What is what breeze blow you here by? She come to mind some business, you know, Marcy stay. Trouble. But Marcy runs the Gifted Hands Learning Center for Special Needs Children, and they're located in Campbellville. So, oh Lord, Marcy. Oh, so Gustav in China as well. What? Marcy, I ain't gonna bother with you. Stanley Hamilton, right now the time is exactly opposite to what it is. Well, it's exactly the same as it is in Guyana in terms of the digits. It's just the PM and the AM different, right? So it's 8:14 p.m. in China here right now where I am, and according to my clock in Guyana there, it's 8:14 a.m. right? So it's yeah, that's what's going on. Let me get this stuff from Jashan uploaded. Anyway, so the morning to Carla Daniels joining us from Maracaibo Region 5. Right, a complete 12-hour difference. Complete 12-hour difference. So whatever time it is in Guyana, just put the PM on, and it's that time here, right? So the General Secretary touched on a plethora of things during his press conference, and you know, I wanted to play the video again for persons to understand what we came from, right? What we came from. Now, we came from an administration that made lofty promises to the citizens of this country. And when given an opportunity, they completely turned around and shafted them, especially those in Madia, right? But as the General Secretary said, we need to play the video again so persons understand what the APNU AFC administration had in their plans for young Guyanese coming out of UG in terms of employment, right? Let's take another look at this.
Price. There's a big sign that says job creation with your face and the Prime Minister's face. We have seen no large-scale job creation at this time. Can you say what are the government's precise plans towards this?
Apart from selling cocoa rice?
Yeah.
Apart from selling cocoa rice, these are the persons who promised UG students 18 months after graduating from UG, you will have a job and a proper paying job. Now, again, before Gordon Mosley commanded this life with the foolishness about people talking on cook up and people talking on planting chips. Again, my point is, how do you go from promising persons jobs in the corporate world, you understand me, to now telling them entrepreneurship, go and sell and cook up. What people they want to do that? Is you're forcing them, David Granger? Should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Right? Let me continue listening.
There's no magic wand. The government cannot provide jobs in the government service, in the police force or the defense force. Even if it's making pepper sauce or guava jam or guava cheese or plantain chips, these are commodities which could be sold in our own restaurants. For example, there are a lot of fish and chip shops now. You can sell cassava chips or sweet potato chips. You can sell cocoa rice. But what I'm saying is that job creation does not necessarily depend exclusively on the government.
Fucking liar!
What he said. What he said. Right? How do you go from okay, that's two. How do you go from promising people jobs to then now turning around to tell them that's not the government's role? Right? How do you go from promising people jobs to telling them that's not the government's role to provide you with a job or help you acquire a job? Now, Gordon Mosley, being the wretch that he is, you understand me? His voice well toned by Enrico Wolford's, I'm gonna tell y'all what. Try to paint a negative picture. And again, failed miserably. I want this thing upload so it can stop echoing. Y'all give me 2 seconds, please. Right? So this is saved. Why am I not seeing it here? Reset. The General Secretary also went on to talk about the, let me kick this from the studio. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the General Secretary went on to talk about the Sherrod Duncan Aubrey Norton interview. Just yesterday morning, when I was walking somewhere, where was I doing the live yesterday? Somewhere, I can't remember. Right? But just yesterday, I was telling y'all, how could Sherrod or Aubrey Norton mention the word corruption in relation to the PPP government, knowing what they came from, knowing what they have been engaged in? Just the other day, AFC had elections, and the people saying Sherrod collecting a big set of money for the In the Ring show, and they ain't seen a cent. Right? They ain't seen a cent. And Sherrod, I hope that was a wake-up call for you. Because guess what? All those thousands of people that sit down on your live to listen to you talk foolishness for about an hour and a half. Right? Because Sherrod Live just got 1,000, 2,000 people on it. It didn't translate into votes. They all know you're a waste. You understand me? And I was glad that the General Secretary reminded persons that it was Sherrod's own comrades in his party that had to get him out of Chronicle. You understand me? Get him out of Chronicle. Gita Chandan and Moses Nagamutu. Kasharad spending up the people their money like they had no tomorrow. Mr. Blank Check Boss talking about corruption. Aubrey Norton got well, yes, he got the balls to do it. We know that. But I'm saying, oh my goodness, brother, you for real? You talking about corruption? Huh? Aubrey rigged a whole elections in his favor. Right? A whole elections Aubrey rigged in his favor. Aubrey even giving them girls, Elizabeth, money to go on campaign. He's sending them out on their own. The blank check boss, the CPU boss, Aubrey, talking about corruption. Aubrey, I'd like you to tell persons how many of young people that went to Kurukuru when you were the the advisor on youth, or the youth advisor to the president. I don't know how old comic like you could be a youth advisor. Aubrey Norton. Right? How could you be a youth advisor on anything? Your last youthful day was eons ago, brother. What are you talking about? Probably your two sons could have been the youth advisors. But you remember they just be bouncing around in the hot space there. Look, let me stop with that sense. Right? As youth advisor, Aubrey, tell us how many of the youths that used to go up to Kurukuru actually gainfully employed or doing something with that knowledge that your administration pretended to impart on them. That is what you need to do, Aubrey Norton. Stop posting foolishness about lest we forget and talking nonsense with Sherrod. Show us success stories of your tenure as advisor of youth. I keep putting on this phone without loading up this stuff. Show us something, Aubrey. That's all people want from you, brother. Show us as former advisor to the president, Granger, because I want y'all to get mixed up. Former advisor to President Granger on youth. How many of those youths actually got something going on for themselves now, Aubrey? I highly doubt you could do that, brother. I highly doubt it. But you know what? You will continue to be disingenuous and try to dwarf the efforts of this administration. When everything that y'all have done fails and paled in comparison. Right? That is Aubrey Norton for you. That is Aubrey Norton for you. And that's what I want people to know. These same guys who would sit and have a whole conversation on corruption, knowing fully well that everything they talk about is what they do. I tell y'all old people that say the same thing people that cuss you, and I even learned that recently. The same thing people is cussing you about and telling you doing, you're bad, you're this and you're that. It's just what they're doing. That is what they are doing. And it only takes time for these things to come to light. It only takes time. So, Aubrey talking about thieving out money out of the consolidated fund. Baps, Mussolini, hey, you thieving out the money out of Congress place. Aubrey talk about election rigging at Congress place. Baps, Aubrey gone rig the elections at Congress place. You see what I'm trying to show y'all? All the things that they talk about is exactly what they're doing. We've seen a counselor. How you know though? Counselor like she little psychic. I gotta watch you. Counselor Stephanie Nelson Moore, morning and welcome to the live. Now, I want to show y'all something else. Now, I couldn't get to load this side view, so just bear with me here a little bit. This is a post by the guy who almost upset the whole PNC with a Vanessa Kisuwa story, right? And that you notice you're hearing back nothing from she, right? You notice you're hearing back nothing from Vanessa Kisuwa. What lengths are these people willing to go to achieve power? That aside, I'd like y'all to look at this post by Mr. Gomes. Guyana, please join me to congratulate the PNCR party leader, Aubrey Norton, and his Afro-Guyanese party with his principal officers. The PNCR has black leader, black chairman, black vice chairman, black second vice chairman, black general secretary. Very impressive. Very impressive. Yes, they accepted that the PNCR is no longer a national party and don't care about the optics. What message does this send to Guyana? The truth, Mr. Gomes. This message sends the truth to Guyanese, letting them know what forces have been echoing for a long time. And in some cases, even Afro-Guyanese, this is not completely true for you. Because if you're not in a certain circle as Afro-Guyanese, you have nothing to get from the PNC. You have nothing to get from Aubrey Norton. And those what people need to remember. This is a party that claims they have a national interest and does not have one person from any of the other 5 races that make up what we call Guyanese. Could you believe it? Not a Chinese, not a Portuguese, not an Amerindian. Well, you know they ain't gonna put no Amerindian there. You know they ain't gonna put no Amerindian there. Don Hastings messes up for everybody. That's indigenous. That probably looking to be the leadership of the PNC. So the guy that they're voting by the bank's cardboard at the Congress, the teacher guy, man, he always in there talking something, trying to look smart. You have no hopes of getting into the leadership of that party, sir. You understand? Ubraj, I don't even know how Ubraj meet there. I don't even know how Ubraj meet there. That's to show you. Aubrey them got belly like dog. Let's take anything. Anything. Now, what kind of political prowess, or what does Ubraj Narain bring to the table other than the fact that he's an Indo-Guyanese? And even that is not enough, because it ain't good enough to get you on the central committee. Or, man, listen. Thank you, Mr. Gomes, for highlighting what we knew as the modus operandi of the APNU, AFC, PNC governments. And most of the time, well, only 2 governments had, Burnham and Granger, and the rest of the time in the opposition. But all along, who was pushing this divisive narrative? Whilst claiming, as Gomes said, to be a national party. And you have no represent, not even a mixed breed. You don't even got a mixed breed. Now imagine all Elizabeth here fall out, right? And she had no real responsibility. What happened now? What gonna happen now? I guess Coretta promised the teachers vote. I don't know how she... Listen. Teachers are so fed up with Coretta McDonald. It's just that they're ashamed to talk. You hear me? They're so fed up with Coretta McDonald. It's just that they're ashamed to talk. Coretta had them people out there for 70-something days. Oh gosh, I think about court and I remember something. Jesus Christ. Oh. Oh. That's why I make a joke with 52 million. Jesus Christ. Trouble. But anyway, that aside, those teachers are fed up of her. Now, they're back at school and a pay cut pending. You understand me? A pay cut is pending. Now, I was telling y'all about this internet situation because I wanted to share a video I uploaded some time ago when I was in Albertown. I think it was around Christmas time. I think it wasn't close, but we were getting close to Christmas time. And the president had done an outreach in Albertown, Kingston, those areas. And the residents complained about the roads. And almost a week or a week and a half after the roads were resurfaced, raised high and stuff like that, residents were happy. I went into the community to hear from the residents. and to get some video footage of the works there. So Babs, I butt up to the guy and he's hypocrite. I don't know if y'all remember the scene when I was asking her about why they didn't do these roads in these areas. What they do? Tell me something with sense. We're taking money because we care grant. Well, it can buy two things, but it can't do. So you can tell me almost 300% or 400% of what you had. But not what you had. We take away. Because they didn't give the because we care to the students in the first place. You took it away. Now you're getting more and you are saying it can't do. Guy is hypocrite. Guy is hypocrite. What want y'all to focus in though, on focus in on though, is the part of the interview where I said to her, tell me one major infrastructural project that you could say benefit a large amount of people. As a matter of fact, no, I didn't say that. I asked her in her stronghold, PNC strongholds, one major infrastructural project that benefited persons in the PNC strongholds. And she stumbled, bumbled, and bounced all over and ended up coming up with a bridge. A bridge in Maruka. Right? This thing in a lot. A bridge in Maruka. So, in this photo on your screen, you see the wild-eyed pistolero. And I really feel that's why this man pissed on the fence, you know. I honestly think David Patterson thought he was speeding a car or he get that clear space and he's doing a thing. But the boy eye so wild that he can't even readjust and focus in to see what he's doing. The person next to David Patterson is the same MP who be next to the cardboard box voting. You have the horrible former minister of natural resources, Trotman, who signed the shitty deal. You understand me? You have this guy, Alika, who was completely useless. Didn't really do anything for indigenous people at all. Completely useless from Saramo. Not even upgrading the road from the Letem Trail into Saramo. Completely useless. The people in the next room, as you want to know who I screaming at. Completely useless. And I think there's Garida Low in the car in the ear. Look at all the pump and that is what they do. Right? This little bridge, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. I don't know who's this guy with the hand in front of the face there. This look like Cathy Hughes in the back, but I ain't gonna give him mouth liberty because people get in so and they got pay when they talk right. I ain't able. But my point is, look at all the ministers that there when they could have been working. When David Patterson could have been researching the scales himself, unless procurement department buy them and they could have actually been in place, David. Huh? Tick! The people in private government, tick! David, you are a tick on the back of Guyana. You are a tick sucking the blood life out of Guyana, David Patterson. You should get out of parliament and go and pursue your profession in the private sector. And that is what I don't understand, people. These folks have some awful track records. And again, track record. I keep saying it, awful track records. And then they come to you like, oh, look what we did. Oh, well, oh, look at what you did. Look at what you did. Now, this is the bridge that the Guyanese hypocrite decided that she can go and bring up to me as something viable and sensible coming out of the coalition. Now, I want y'all to understand this. This bridge that you are looking at that is broken down here, constructed at a cost of 110 million. Now, in Annette's view, a bridge for 110 million is a major infrastructural project benefiting a large number of Guyanese. Not something like a Heroes Highway, Not something like a Demerara River, a 4-lane Demerara River crossing that was procured in the proper way. Not completing the stadium at Bay Rock Ground in Linden. Not doing anything to the ground at Mackenzie there. Not getting out houses for anybody. Housing scheme, young professional house, core homes, remigrant scheme, all kind of thing. And when I talk about those things, the investment that the government has made in those initiatives are in the billions of dollars. And Guyanese will continue to reap from those investments for decades to come. Their generations now have generational wealth is created in a lot of instances, especially in terms of housing and that kind of thing. The APN, you have nothing to contrast it with. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Now look at the Guyanese Hypocrite Bridge. The much touted Guyanese Hypocrite Bridge. She talk about this bridge. Look them the call wrong name and all kind of thing. Now look at it. Now mind you, this bridge was supposed to last for 40 years. 40 years. 40 years, you know. You think it's 40 years ago and it was a minister? You think about it. The bread's supposed to last 40 years. And it didn't even, man. Y'all can imagine if Annette and the wild-eyed David Patterson had built the Demerara River crossing that's being constructed there now. Could you imagine? If you can't complete such a simple task, Annette Ferguson and David Patterson, if you could complete such a simple task, what would happen to the new Demerara River crossing? People would be driving on the sucker one day and just realize, hey, I can't drive the boy floating down the Demerara. That's what they mean. That's what they would have to deal with. Or they're driving and then they realize, hey, all of a sudden I'm underwater. Because that is the kind of work and that's the kind of development you get from the coalition. Their interest was building arches and penis-like structures across the country. That was their main aim. And flying carpet for David Granger to walk on when he go in the hinterland and all kind of foolishness. So could you imagine David Patterson and Annette Ferguson looking after the Demerara River crossing? What would happen to we, boy? How many guys would have probably lose their life? I know for sure the people in that area, this area here, knows who built this bridge. They know exactly who built this bridge, right? They also know why it's in the current condition it's in. Because this is what you get when you have an inept, visionless, useless group of people all banded together, not a soul with sense in the bunch. And you know something? Y'all remember, Annette is one of the persons who was not submitting her returns to the Integrity Commission during the time that she was minister. Could it be alleged that some of the proceeds for this bridge gone to the big house of these bank? Y'all see what coming from? Annette used to ride a 70 round the place and me saying you can't come up. But not on the backs of the Guyanese people. Not on the backs of the Guyanese people. So we need to go to the vet and get that tick. That is David Patterson removed off of the back of the Guyanese. What we shall get through, by? We shall get through. I could get, you get through. Barney, let me call you back. I ain't even realize the phone was silent. I'll give you 2 minutes. Alright, he answering. Let me leave it alone. So we have to remove these persons. But thank you, Lily Prashad. Like a leech. Like a leech on the back of Guyanese. I'm so fed up of all of them. Vishal, good night to you. Morning to you in Guyana. What's up? Talk to me. I give you 3 minutes, Vishal. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Good. Go ahead.
Now, my friend, when you listen to Guyana for circus, brethren, don't take on these people because they have become so insignificant. They have no merit. Young people of today is seeing the true colors. You understand?
Yeah.
You know what these people are? They're just like the slave masters. They got the slave master mentality. They talking about caste, some of them talking about the Chinese. And they're buying from the Chinese and exploiting the own people. They go in the Chinese store and buy the goods for $1,000, and when you go in their shop, they're selling it for $5,000. So who's exploiting who there?
Yeah, I agree.
It's the guy's self-imposed exploitation. You're talking about the Chinese don't pay tax. They're a fallacy. I'm a custom broker. I can tell you, Chinese one of the largest taxpayers in this country.
Right.
If you tell me the Chinese is on the invoice, yes. Enough Chinese was on the invoice to go. I could tell you now.
Right. Yeah. What do you think about the? What do you think about the
evaders in this country is going to I'm telling you now. You understand? I am not afraid to speak that. And you know who is the majority of the tax evaders? The majority is slap new supporters there.
Man, here. You know something, Vishal? Put aside the supporters.
You want to find out something? You go to
Vishal.
the arcade, brother. These people's going by the Chinese store in the arcade, you know. Going by the Chinese store. Remember the Chinese got different quality.
Right.
You go by the Chinese man, you want the padlock. Chinese man say, oh, you get padlock for $5, you get padlock for $10, you get padlock for $20. Which one you want? You want $5? No problem. Me make it for $5. You understand?
Right.
When you go to the arcade, these men going in the Chinese store, they might buy a pass for $2,000. When you go to the arcade, it's $15,000 for Mac pants. So who exploiting you?
Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. But I see that.
A guy, an individual brought in an item and you have to pay 90-something thousand. You had a problem for pay though. I said, boss, you got to pay though.
Right.
Because you got a big business. No name, no warrant. Let's tell you something. This slave master mentality is still in these people's psyche, brother. When they're Indiana, they don't want to pay the fair share of taxes. But they want good roads, they want good school, they want good everything.
Yeah.
They don't want to contribute.
Yeah.
Flapnu continue to instill this mindset in the support base. Well, we don't work slavery time, so we ain't supposed to pay nothing. Lazy mindset. So they talk about cost of living. A lot of people don't understand that we people imposing the cost of living on ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, if the Chinese man running people out of business, you know why? I go to a lady shop to buy 2 tuna for my cats. I start good hello inside, low tone of voice. I raise my tone of voice inside. I raise my tone of voice hard inside. That lady gonna ask me, like you live in here. You see the mentality?
The Chinese lady said it to you?
You see the mentality? No, I'm speaking about Guyanese woman.
Okay, go ahead.
When I go to the Chinese store, I buy one of them too, no, for like $300 or $260.
Right.
She want $560 for one of them tin. I don't have a problem, but I made an effort to support you business.
Yeah.
And you in a chat to sell me, to service me.
Right.
But when I raise me vice, I go to one shop and go to another shop, you know.
Yeah.
And guess who's who? Guess who's who, man?
You gotta tell me Afro-Guyanese, bro.
Okay.
Afro-Guyanese. So, that's the story of my life.
When these people talking, you understand?
Yeah.
When these people talking about cost of living, they don't know nothing what they're speaking of, sorry. And let me tell you something, my brother. The PPPC left a thriving economy in 2015 with a debt load of just $1.2 billion when Mr. Jordan tried to inflate it to $1.6 billion.
Right.
They left an economy that was almost $4 billion US as compared to $368 million US in 92, with $2.1 billion in debt and $1.5 billion in arrears. They left almost $1 billion in the treasury as compared to just 17 million US. This is what the PPPC inherited in 1992. This is not fallacy or figment of the imagination.
Yeah.
The statistics are there. Go to the Bureau of Statistics and anybody could go and extract them information.
Right.
Information is at our fingertip. They're talking about cost of living. If a man got to pay $10,000 US to bring in a container from China when he used to pay $5,000, the government has a policy now where you could use the pre-crisis rates to calculate the duty and taxes, because that is how the duty and taxes is calculated in Guyana. Now, even if the government say, okay, use the $5,000 instead of $10,000. Now, this man don't get a discount from the shipping line. He got to pay the $10,000.
Yeah.
Now, if they have a steep increase in commodity price, a youth Guyana in export is about maybe, let's say about 5 billion US right now. I don't have the correct figure, but I'm close to that. The is just...
I think we shall lose signal there. Or my VPN shut down. Anyway, Vishal, I was making some very good points there. And like I remind people, sometimes we are our own worst enemy, right? Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. A lot of these things like greens and them kind of thing, sometimes there's no need to have them at the prices they are in the markets. But you have Guyanese who see an opportunity to capitalize and they take advantage of it. And whilst you can't blame them, you have to blame them because they're creating hardships on other Guyanese. So when the boatman in Freedom Hoop decide on Sunday he wants 100% increase on the fare to go across the river, you're creating pressure on the people, the traveling public. Nobody's denying that there's inflation and prices are rising, but people trying their best to deal with it. Government is trying their best to deal with it and has put more disposable income into the hands of Guyanese. Now, the government put a system to make sure people have a little more money there and the year salary increase. Take taxes off for certain things. You understand me? Give the teachers their, what's this thing? The money for the teaching materials. So they ain't spending that money out of the pockets. And the taxi man, the boat man, and the market man taking it right back out of the pocket. So those people feel disgruntled, like they're getting nothing. But that is not the case. Look at the people in Linden, the taxi operators, charging persons 100 to 200% more on the same fare because of the one-lane bridge that these idiots couldn't fathom that needed to be replaced 2015 to 2020. Right? They didn't know this bridge need to replace. Only one vehicle could go over at a time. One that's got to wait. You understand me? They had no idea. And that's to show you probably how much times Granger actually crossed that bridge as a president. And mind you, Granger at that time did not have to wait to cross the bridge. Because when he come there, over right away, whoever on the other side got to stop. And he did cross the bridge, because I told you he was in Victory Valley when he and Alistair Collins had all them chairs stand up outside in the rain, me included. Wasn't I supporting the PNC? Let me make it clear. Because Gordon Mosley bring that foolishness up the other day. Let me let y'all know something. I'm done with Aubrey and them. We're about to wrap up. So I can bust a critic with y'all and gaff a little bit. Let me tell y'all something. I had a very sheltered life coming up. I went to school in Trinidad. My aunt was a top manager at the CARDI, the Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute, which was based in the University of Guyana's compound, the University of the West Indies compound in St. Augustine, Trinidad and Tobago. So she had diplomatic status. I used to travel on her passport all through my young life. You hear me? And just a second. And my aunt was a very busy woman. I won't say she didn't have time to spend with me. My mother was overseas with my sister who was autistic, seeking treatment for her at that time. So I grew up with my aunt, right? And the point I'm trying to make here to y'all is these people do this thing and throw me totally off. The point I'm trying to make to y'all is when we moved back to Guyana, sorry about that. Most of my schooling was in Trinidad and Tobago. When we moved back to Guyana, I went to the business school. And it was at the business school I met a gentleman named Addison Ross. Addison Ross was a presidential guard at the time under Vice President Dr. Barrett Jackdew whilst he was president. Addison Ross introduced me to the President's Youth Award Program, right? The President's Youth Award Program that was started under the People's Progressive Party Civic. The President's Youth Award Program. Now, I joined that program. I went from bronze, silver, gold, leadership. I represented Guyana through that program internationally about 3 times. Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda, and when they had the expedition here, when all the international bodies came to Guyana for the activities here, right? So I had a deep love for that program because, one, it brought youth from all walks of life together. Rich, poor, middle class, in school, out of school, whatever it was. And all of us came under that one umbrella, and that umbrella instilled discipline, order, and life skills. Right? Now, the President Youth Award at the time had an executive officer by the name of, I don't know if I think he was promoted to major, but at the time he was a reservist, Captain Alfred King. You hear me? Very disciplined gentleman from the GDF, didn't stickle nonsense. He was the kind of person who used to give you that kind of tough love. And anybody who went through the award under Alfred King, one thing you knew is when Alfred King showed up, all stupidness stopped. Every bit of it. He didn't even have to say nothing. He didn't even have to say nothing. Right? They had a code. When they see Alfred King Rafour pull up, somebody in a holiday, the eagle has landed. All stupidness stopped. Everybody in art, everybody doing what it's supposed to do. And I could tell you that most of the persons who pass through that program, that either Guyana Police Force at the level of sergeant and above, Guyana Defense Force, sergeant and above, or officer, cadet officer and above. They got this guy Devent and Venture in the Guyana Fire Service. I think one is a full corporal and one is an officer. All accomplished. All accomplished. Well, I joined the media. And mind you, my introduction to the media was through the President Youth Award, because the President Youth Award sent me to NCN on work study. And I met a lady named Wendy Hormenstein who gave me an opportunity to be employed. And that is how my career started in the media. So when there was the 2015 election and the government changed, I didn't want to give up on the President Youth Award. You understand me? Because it was a program, like I said, I came through the years and I saw it benefit a lot of young people of all races. So my interest was keeping that program alive. The APNU AFC appointed a guy, a twin, one of the twins. They call themselves the twins of politics. Lord. Appointed a guy by the name of Alistair Collins. Right? And that gentleman ran the President Youth Award program into the ground. Not even into listen, to the core of the earth. That's where he ran the President Youth Award program to. That until a day like today, that the administration changed back, you got a new Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, you got a new Director of Youth. The President Youth Award cannot catch itself again. Anybody in Linden could remember August when the President Youth Award was marching close to 400 or 500 youths on their summer camps in those regions. So like I'm telling you, Alistair Collins came and I decided to continue to work along with the President Youth Award. Not on staff, not getting a full salary. You understand me? I'm glad Tyson English here. I'm glad Tyson English. Look how you watching me, people. Watch he. So he know I ain't lying. Tyson English know I'm not lying. Run the program into the ground. That Tyson English now, who is affiliated with the program still, can't even fully resuscitate it. It's so in shambles. It's so in shambles that you ain't even really got people who know about the program who want to come around it because it mess up so bad. You understand? So I worked along with Alistair Collins with the President Youth Award. Now, Alistair Collins had an issue with the lady, the former Director of Youth, Melissa Carmichael. Right? Now, you remember you buy the Scarlet as you see it. Now, this is the Director of Youth. A very ghetto woman from Moko. If you see her, geez. She's Adventist. Me got nothing against Adventist. You understand me? At Kale, the core of the earth, that's where he run it into. Can't resuscitate. Now she decided that she was going to take the documents of the husband of an Alicia Pompey to bid for a contract. I think it was a UN contract to supply meals. You understand? When the husband's mother was out of the country. Right? So all the time I doing me little writing in behind the scenes and stuff, and I find out and I release the story. And that's how we start getting the Director Youth start getting loggerhead, because she was complicit in it at the time. You understand me? She was complicit in it at the time. I went and interviewed the woman, the Miss Pompey's husband's mother, interviewed her. The woman gave me the whole story. She been out the country. The texture documents, the bid for the stuff. The people at the UN did not want to make the payment because they saying, with this lady there that own this business, how she sending y'all, we ain't getting y'all no check. Y'all bring the lady who own the business. That's how the whole thing gets skin up. Now imagine, right? They use this lady documents. Use this lady. PNC worries. Melissa Carmichael. Use this lady documents. Well, along with Shadat-in-law, because she was complicit too. It's only the son that's stupid and playing. He know. Well, let's say the real. He did genuinely stupid. He didn't really know much of anything that they're going on. Genuinely, you can't blame me. He did a little tick in his skull. But my point is, when the UN called for the woman to come now, that is how the woman find out she bid on some multi-million-dollar contract for meals. You understand? That is how she found out. Now, I interviewed her. I took this to the police. I think he's an Inspector Mohammed. I think he's in Essequibo now. At CID. Took the recording. That's how far I went with it. You hear me? Took the recording to the police. The police gonna lost up me record, all kind of thing. Look, some up to tonight, a senior officer, the police force was talking about how people is lament about the police and not GRA. Sometimes the police need to sort themselves out. You understand me? The police did nothing. The police didn't do nothing. So remember now, I walk in, or you could say semi-volunteering at President Youth Award, boss this story with the director and this money and the people there, and I still got work there. But you know, I bare face, I got to work every day. So the first thing she did was to cut my stipend, right? Gordon Mosley. So before you talk shit, let me break it down for you, you broad-faced wretch, right? Cut my stipend. So I was at President Youth Award working for free. And mind you, if you go and check the records, Gordon Mosley, they had a field officer who submit more proposals, pull off more activities than me. Anywhere in President Youth Award, no field officer in any region, none. I'm saying so. And the facts are there. Tyson, if a line, please say different in this chat here now. Tyson English, who is on this line. If there was a field officer that pulled off any more activities than me, community service, wherever it is, whatever it is, none. So she cut me stipend. So I finally, she cut me stipend. I still come into work. So her office is downstairs at Middle Street, where the Culture and was. It's now the National Sports Commission there. Look, you see what Tyson's saying? No, sir, there wasn't. Not a boy doing more work. Well, in terms of projects, because Tyson was in charge of expeditions. There's a whole different area. You understand? So a day, the director come up in her ricketics, and said to me, she can't fathom the idea of my attitude. So I said, Director, phantom? What are you talking about? A phantom is a demon, a spirit, a foul creature. Fathom is understanding. So if you can't fathom something, that makes sense. But as a director of youth, coming in front of all these young people and using that horrible English, I think you should be ashamed of yourself. And that was the nail in my coffin, Gordon Mosley. Well, not in my coffin, kind of. I still around. You understand? But that is what broke the straw that broke the horse's back. The fact that the director of youth, Melissa Carmichael, the 7 days Adventist, who's go to the 7 days Adventist church on South Road, who's living in Mucka, who last up, is she or Shanette last up the money? I can't remember which one. No, I think she last up the money, and Alistair Collins do the affidavit for setting money last, and then Shannon go and last up a set of money, and I think she get one to get it last, or she find it back or something like that. One big dirty story. One big dirty story. You understand? So that was the issue. Gordon Mosley. I was never part or parcel of the PNC at any part of my life. One time I went into Congress Place, Gordon, and I told you it was for my aunt's wake. The debate session that y'all had that we had to back up and fund. Because you remember she's a big thing in your party. You can't keep awake for she. The family still have to come and do it properly. Because we respect her. Yes, Pam, I'm out the big from long time. Long. I just didn't care. You think I care? Like crazy, yes, sir? You don't think I care? So when Gordon Mosley gonna talk about, oh, you know to jump from side to side. Gordon, I'm not you. Enrico in behind me for me to be jumping from side to side and ginching. I'm not you. So don't play you coming around me funny. Never supported the PNC in my life and would never do it. I sit on this program and talk about how they treated my aunt, who support them in their worst moments, how they treat her. David Granger coming to Lamaha Gardens, and if you could check PG records, because it's supposed to keep a record with the blasted president went. Come into Lamar Gardens, lock up the whole area. People who live in it, they can't get in. Come in there, promise my aunt the world, and did nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing bad, too bad about Valda Lawrence. But y'all know that creature. That is Valda Lawrence. At the time was Minister of Health. Valda Lawrence come to our house. The CEO for public hospital, chief nurse, this body, the body, promised my aunt the world, and up to now, you hear what I'm telling you? She ain't get nothing from them. I lose a lot of money trying my best to take care of my aunt in her last days. And I tell y'all, I would never support these people, because if that is how you treating people that with you, I don't want to see how you treat your enemy. I don't want to see how you treat your enemy. So I wanted to make that clear. Don't you ever, Gordon Mosley, associate me with your stinking party. You hear what I'm telling you? Don't you ever do it again. Because I see how y'all treat people who support you. So I would never support y'all. And listen, it is not about just that. Look at their track record. What did they do for education? Take away the grants from the children. What did they do for the joint services? Take away their year-end bonus. You think we can ask anybody from Congress Place to go at the border and fight if the Venezuelans decide to make themselves an ass? Aubrey, Cathy, Nigel, they're to be the first to run out of this country. Because they have the option. It's the regular Guyanese, and those who have love for this country will stay and fight for it. I guarantee you. You will not see a lot of them. And I like people to remember these things. Listen, it's in the back of my mind all the time. It's in the back of my mind all the time. So I wanted to clear the air. Never supported them. Never. And never will. Never will. I've seen the belly of the beast. And if y'all could do this to she, me want to see what y'all could do to me. I don't want to see what y'all could do. If y'all could do what it is to do to Aubrey, y'all mad. What are you going there for? What am I going there to do? And if, let me say, it was a case of they did so much for the people, Londoners are better off. Persons from All Boys Song are better off. Persons from Sapphire are better off. Persons from New Amsterdam are better off. Persons from Beirut had gotten their titles under them. Persons from Mocha would have get boredom dry fix under them. You could have said, well, oh, let me give them a chance. But they literally didn't do literally didn't do Y'all heard the General Secretary talk about how the PPP administration received this government, the country during the COVID period? Could you imagine these wretches build a hospital? What do they call it? An infectious disease hospital, and not even a respirator, no equipment, nothing. Just like the place at Belvedere, what tell you all about the business incubator. One big commissioning ceremony for pictures on a wall. For pictures on a wall. You understand? That is the vision. That is the vision of a PNC government. A PNC government. You think they got time with Afro-Guyanese? Again, Aubrey Norton, I'm asking you, list success stories for them camps that you're collecting the money to carry the people up the highway to make themselves an ass at Madawini camp. Right? Anything I tell y'all here is what stuff that I know personally. I got the information. I know that it's factual. Every weekend, 2-3 bus loads at Madawini. And to do what? Accreditation to take them where? Where they getting a job? The Bartram Collins College of Foolishness in the public service. How often people let public service work? On their own accord. How often public servants get fired? You know what the process to fire a public servant? Why y'all think when you go to some of these public buildings, some of the staff there, just go out, just go out? Because they know they ain't got no contract. They're public servants. And the process to fire a public servant, you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So you could catch a public servant doing the most dastardly deed. You got warrant, you got right here, you got all over, all kind of thing. All kind of thing. Anyway, thank you guys for being on the program today. If you see that wretch Garden Mosey on Facebook today, y'all don't tell you nothing, Leffy. You can't help yourself. You know, his life has been Hey, you make a joke. Look. I used to be with the PNC. God, you out your mind? You out your mind, banner? The best days of the President Youth Award. This is another thing Tyson English could confirm. Right? The President Youth Award in Guyana is a spin-off of the Duke of Edinburgh's award that comes out of England. Right? Now, in this hemisphere where Guyana operates, Guyana was in the #1 spot in terms of dealing with participants, passing them through the program, ensuring that they qualify, and that kind of thing. Always had the biggest contingent at international events. People always wanted to know. You want some sun and water? That's why Tyson's trouble. Tyson's trouble. Well, at least you see saying it. Y'all see saying it here. Y'all see saying it. I remember time, right? Alistair Collins decided to pull me off an expedition. Just because you just tell you like it is. And the boy was so spineless. I did right in the office. He said nothing to me. He go and get Jurugar. I call his name because me lying for nobody. Tyson was expedition leader. Look, I lying, watch. Look, Tyson talking about the stance of the award program under the PPP administration and Alfred King's leadership. You understand me? That is where the award was. That is where it was. I believe this here, though. Yes, I believe this. He throat too. That's why he voice so raspy. Somebody tampered with his throat as well. So that's why it's get a little song. Is residual. I don't know, just live it on the throat doesn't make it sound like that. But telling y'all, and Tyson could confirm this too. When the boy is so spineless, he can't come and tell me, hey, you're going for an expedition. Right? I was deputy expedition leader. Tyson was expedition leader. He go and Juru Garden and say, okay, you're deputy expedition leader. Go and tell that guy he's not going to camp. No worries. I know if it was me, Collins, I'd come in your face and tell you. You understand me? Them kind of spineless behaviors, PNC, AFC behavior, that's how y'all operate. You understand? That's how y'all operate. Anyway, I get it out of here. I had a really long day. I tried to get some rest tonight. I haven't slept since I left Guyana. Well, I sleep at, like, I get an hour here and there in between, but I ain't had a full night's sleep since. But it was nice being here with y'all. We'll be back on Monday as normal. Same time, same place. Y'all continue to be good Guyanese. Continue to be good Guyanese. And be sure to fact check things. Right? And if somebody shows you who they are, Courdel Jones is telling you to believe them. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. That's one to the horse from let them. But let me come off of PY. Let me come off of them. Let me come off. I got bad with them. I got bad with y'all be safe on the road. If y'all going out this weekend to have fun, please designate a driver. I don't want to hear about no accidents and these kinds of things. Y'all, please. One thing I must mention, in my time in Panama and my time in China so far, there's a very different driving culture. Look what Tyson said when I asked about the horse. Right? Look what Tyson said when I asked about the horse. Well, if I tell y'all, he could be corroborated. The horse that never was. Never trot a day in his life. We see yet. Not a PY person right now. Look. Anyway, it's a different driving culture. And there's so much care for pedestrians. You know, I guess we have to have something to shift that culture to Guyana. Right? Anyway, y'all be good. I'll see you guys here Monday. Please be safe this weekend. And as I always say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all